I've been waiting to see an Indigenous and Native American story in the Marvel universe. So yeah, I think it means a whole lot to a lot of people, and I think that's a responsibility that we don't carry lightly.
Maya. I see everything that you are. I always have.
First of all, how was this experience of being part of the MCU for you?
Honestly, it was a bucket list dream of mine. It's something that I've wanted to be a part of for a really long time, and the fact that I get to be a part of it with a project like Echo is really special.
Yeah. I'm feel very honored and grateful to be a part of this, and I think it's really important for Indigenous people in the community. I think it's something they can look at and have pride in, and see the way that it was handled by the creatives and the sensitivity, and I think they'll be very, very pleased with it.
Echo takes another important step in representation in the MCU. As Native American actors, how important is this series for you?
Yeah, extremely important. It's pretty rare you get like shows like this with Indigenous community and with a lead, an anti-hero, because it's not that long ago when we were playing like mystical people and not really human. And this is it's a very human show. It deals in family, and everyone can relate to that. So I'm very happy and very honored to be a part of this project.
I agree. I think that for the MCU to showcase different cultures and communities is something that is really inspiring to me. I especially loved Black Panther when it came out. I loved Shang-Chi, even Wakanda Forever, and seeing these different communities was something that made me emotional while I was watching it. And so for Echo to, I've been waiting to see an Indigenous and Native American story in the Marvel universe. So yeah, I think it means a whole lot to a lot of people, and I think that's a responsibility that we don't carry lightly.
Echo is one of the most adult and violent series in the MCU. What did you find more interesting and different about the production?
I thought it was a little darker, which I loved. It's gritty, which you don't get to see that much in Marvel. It's new perspective of going into this. It's exciting to be something a part of. They're trying something different, and it's very fun to be a part of that process.
With this being the first TV MA Marvel series, I think it lends to kind of a more adult audience. I don't know that it's necessarily appropriate for kids with some of the violence that happens, but I think that means it means that we can have some deeper and more nuanced conversations and have some darker themes in there. I'm a fan of crime dramas. I'm somebody who likes watching things that are darker and grittier, so I think that it just gets to kind of explore and unpack that world of organized crime and how it can intersect in different communities.
Don't be afraid.
I like stories like this with family and with family drama and trauma. There's a lot to work on with that, and I felt that Uncle Henry was someone who probably wasn't expecting Maya to come home, and he's constantly trying to chase after her and clean up after her from what she's caused. I don't want to give too much away, but that's about what I'm gonna say.
And getting to play the character Bonnie, who is really close with Maya growing up. She's not only a cousin, but she's even closer. She's more of like a sister to Maya, and through Maya's badassery and her coming back to Oklahoma and meeting and reconnecting with her community again for the first time in many years, I think that there's glimpses of who Maya could have been if she didn't leave for New York, if she stayed on her res through her relationship with Bonnie. And so through the series, I think we get to see a little bit more behind who Maya López is when she's not having to be so tough.
What is the most interesting thing about Echo for you?
I think there were really interesting things about Maya López, the character in the comics, but I think through the series Echo, what's surprising is how she draws from her powers. I think there's the version in the comics that we know and love and fans of the MCU. And now in the Marvel Spotlight banner, with Echo being the first in that kind of banner, it's a standalone piece, so we don't necessarily need to know what's happened before, especially having had a team of Indigenous creatives and writers and directors and producers behind the lens have gotten to draw on Choctaw culture. And for me, what is the most interesting is her tie to her community and to her ancestors.
I think you're gonna see how brutal she can be, and I like that Marvel isn't shying away from that, because it's to me that's fascinating how she's a killer. You know, she's a hitman. That's what she is at the end. And watching Alaqua portray that, and she's a sweetheart, by the way.
Oh, she's so sweet.
So sweet. I mean, when she turns into Maya, it's this stone cold look, and that's what intrigues me, and I think audience is gonna love that too.
You and I are the same. So, who's the monster?